A very good morning to you and welcome to the news at 7. I'm Ebere Ugonna. We sincerely apologize for bringing the news behind schedule. The headlines this morning: Governor Obiano charged state citizenry on the act of giving to bring positive change in their vicinities. Dozy Group of Company hands over $5 million check to state government to make Anambra compendium more accessible to Anambra. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Abubakar warns personnel against meddling in politics. On the foreign scene this morning, 3 protesters killed in anti-government demonstrations in Sudan. Details of the news: Governor Willie Obiano has asked the citizenry to always live a life of giving and to exist for others. Governor Obiano was speaking during a solemn mass of rededication of St. Joseph's Catholic Church, Aguleri. Government House correspondent Eji Kevana reports that the mass was celebrated by His Eminence Francis Cardinal Arinze. His report.
Being his home church, Governor Obiano single-handedly rebuilt it as a personal commitment to his Catholic faith and a practicing Christian. The clergy, including Most Reverend Valerian Okeke, Most Reverend Dennis Isizo, Most Reverend Hilary Okeke, the political class, including the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Primus Odeli, the traditional ruler of Nteje, Igwe Rolando Debo, cabinet members of Aguleri, among others, attended the Mass. Governor Obiano said that the move was a demonstration of his love for God and humanity, adding that himself and his wife have engaged in humanitarian services for over the years, saying that the choice of St. Joseph was because of its rich history as the oldest church in the Southern Protectorate. Describing the day as special, the governor appreciated His Eminence for coming in person to perform the function and called on the people of Aguleri to increase their commitment to God and church through propagation of the gospel. Earlier in a homily, Francis Cardinal Arinze highlighted what the church represents and expectations from Christians, pointing out that the church, as a symbol of the New Jerusalem, represents the body of Jesus Christ, and commended the governor's gesture. The auxiliary bishop of Onitsha Diocese, Most Reverend Isizo, who gave a brief history of St. Joseph Church, explained that the artifacts and design of the church are deliberate, adding that the church, having been consecrated by His Eminence, is now more recognized the world over. Speaking to the ABS, the member representing Onitsha 2 constituency, Mr. Edi Ibuzo, said that living a life of giving is expected of everyone, irrespective of religion, status, or class. Prayer of dedication, consecration of the altar and the entire church with chrism oil and incense by His Eminence amidst sonorous tunes and renditions by the choir featured at the Mass. From St. Joseph Catholic Church, Aguleri, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
The contributions of the Nigerian Armed Forces in the unity and existence of the nation cannot be quantified. Governor Willie Obiano made this assertion during the 2019 launching of Emblem Appeal Fund of the Nigerian Legion Anambra State Chapter held at the Government House, Oka. Correspondent Chibuzo Okoye completes the story.
The governor, who was represented by the state head of service, Barrister Harry Odu, underscored the innumerable and critical roles the armed forces have played in the unity, peace, and security of the nation, and made it clear that the state government is appreciative of their sacrifices.
We can't but appreciate deeply the efforts of those who have made their great contributions, so that the young ones who are still active and in active combat will be able to do what they have to do with all manner of courage, knowing that what they are doing will be remembered and will not be in vain.
The Chief Judge of the State, Justice Peter Umade, disclosed that the judiciary and the military enjoy cordial relationship and commended them for their love, patriotism, and service to the nation.
This is about patriotism, this is about love of country, this is about service, and this is about what sometimes is cheesy, but which will not go when we talk about the supreme sacrifice.
The state chairman of the Nigerian Legion, Elder Joseph Ifeanyi, represented by the state secretary of the Legion, Major Ben Ezabogo, in an address commended Governor Obiano and his wife for their support to the council and listed some of their pressing needs to include lack of office accommodation, operational vehicle, poor budgetary allocation, among others.
Promoting the welfare of ex-servicemen and to foster comradeship among ex-servicemen of Nigerian Armed Forces. The functions include to establish, resolve, manage, control, and regulate the conduct and affairs of the Court of Commissioner, the Civil Unarmed Security Outfit.
The statutory instrument that established the Nigerian Legion is Act Number 37 of 1988, with the primary aim of promoting the welfare of ex-servicemen and to foster comradeship among ex-servicemen of Nigerian Armed Forces. Present at the event included the Commander, Artillery Regiment, Onitsha, Colonel A.Y. Bwala, the Commander, Naval Outpost, Onitsha, Navy Captain K. Mohammed, the representatives of the Police Commissioner, the DSS, and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Others at the event were the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solochuhu Lobelu, the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Emma Udape, as well as members of the State Legion. In Oka, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
Cooperative organizations in the states have been asked to sponsor the Anambra Compendium to enable Anambra residents have access to the rich information contained in the document. The State Deputy Governor, Dr. Nkem Okeke, made the call when officials of Dozie Group issued a check of 5 million naira to the state government in sponsorship of the Anambra Compendium. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Giving the check on behalf of the state government in his office at the Government House, Oka, Deputy Governor Keke commended for backing the state government on such laudable project and called on other groups and individuals to follow suit as the rich contents of the book will widen people's knowledge about the state and project the state as the true light of the nation.
These are taught citizens of the state. I'm really happy about that. If we get this kind of support from other citizens like Kudo, the book will be able to go to the different areas of the society, and different people will be able to have access to the rich information it contains.
For the editor-in-chief of the compendium, Mr. Emeka Okonkwo, the compendium represents Anambra in its entirety and serves as a guide to those who are not familiar with the history, natural endowments, culture and traditions of the state.
Historic book, and the more it gets out to the public, the more the state Anambra becomes a brand in the world. We need a lot of corporate individuals. And if you check it, Anambra is so unique that we have the largest per capita billionaires in all currencies, very hardworking people. And then these people are also showcased in the compendium.
Speaking after handing over the check, the Chief Executive Officer of the Dozie Group, Sadan Chukwudozie, represented by General Manager Communications, Sir Oseloka Ofo, who explained that the gesture has no political undertone, said it is part of their way of giving back to the society and ensuring that all tap from the rich contents of the book, requesting that the compendium paid for be distributed to the public institutions, libraries and others as planned.
Give full support to what the government is doing, and this one has to do with the Anambra Compendium, a laudable project. We consider that as very classic, that every well-meaning Anambra fellow should support this project. So we have looked at it and we feel that something pretty good is happening in Anambra for the unit of Anambra people, for the collective will of Anambra people. So for us to have come together to actually, speak with one voice through this particular campaign is great. That's why we're here, and we have just paid a brief visit to the Deputy Governor to formally launch the project.
From the government house in Awka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
And away from that, Tony Obi, a senior citizen from Orifite in Ekusigo local government area, is demanding for justice following the brutalization of his son, Mr. Chukwuemeka Obi, by an officer of the Department of State Security Service, DSS, Anambra State, on December 31st, 2018. Ogochukwu Oranu was at the press briefing granted by Satoni in Awka, and a report is taken from here.
In Awka on the incident, Satoni, who was a former chairman of Ekusigo local government, narrated how he sent his younger son, Mr. Chuka Obi, a postgraduate student of Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu University, to buy tiles, sand and cement for some repair work in the house. Along the line, he got a call from him that he was apprehended by the operatives of DSS at Amei, Awka, opposite All Saints Anglican Church. He then proceeded to the DSS office and discovered that his son, Chukwuemeka, was handcuffed, stripped naked, and was horsewhipped countlessly on his back, while his wife, Ellen, who tried to intervene, was dragged out of the premises. Sir Tony said when he sought to know the offense committed by his sons, the DSS director, Yusuf Isaka, told him that the younger son, Chuka, was tracked with a number which was used to collect ransom, while the elder son, Chukwuemeka, was flogged because he tried to obstruct the investigation, though they later found out that the number belonged to a Tyler. Sir Obi, who stated that his family is impeccable with the track record, lamented that his sons were given a brutal treatment by a system that was supposed to protect them, and requested that the officer in question should be brought to book.
They made a call to me. I was not in town, I was in our village. So, and they just took this thing to me. We placed call, what happened? And they said that it was as a result of Chukwuemeka going to ask what really happened. That a number was being tracked through the phone of my junior, that's my youngest son, and it happened to be a Tyler, whom he was discussing. Nobody knew that the Tyler had any issue with the case may be. So according to them, after flogging Chukwuemeka with the hospital, and the mother was there before her, what for? They removed his shirt, the same Paul again continued flogging, and his other colleagues that were asked, why are you so brutal about this? They pushed Madam away from him.
The victim, Mr. Chukwuemeka Obi, who is an administrative officer at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, and his mother, Barrister Ellen Obi, a lecturer at the Faculty of Law of the same university, also took turns to narrate their ordeal.
This man, what did my son do to you? He didn't do anything to you. Stop flogging him. He said, as he was flogging me, I shouldn't come back. I should face my front. He asked me to remove my shirt.
They removed your shirt.
I removed my shirt and removed my trousers. I was only putting on my inner wear, my boxers. He flogged me again 2 or 3 times. I should feel that I'm a nobody, and he would deal with me today, dress up and come to his office. When I got to his office, he said I should write a statement. I told him that I'm not okay with this meeting to write a statement. He said I should write a statement. I must put down a statement. As I was putting down that statement, but he said I should drop the statement and I should leave his office, that I should call my father and then I should leave.
I pleaded with him that he should not do such thing to my son Chuka, and he said he wouldn't do that. I told him that I have all of the takes to let the world know. He said I can get out and do what I want to do. Nigeria is a country with so many laws. Recently, in 2017, we have this law, the act passed by the National Assembly on brutality. We have the Violence Against Person Prohibition Act, and even the law being passed. What is the essence of this law? If justice cannot be meted out.
When contacted on phone, Mr. Yusuf Isaka said he will only react when they are done with administrative investigation.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has warned the personnel against meddling in politics as the 2019 general elections approaches. Abubakar gave the warning while inaugurating a block of 18 units of 2-bedroom flats for senior non-commissioned officers at 551 NAF station in Jos. The Air Chief was represented by Director of Administration, Nigerian Air Force Headquarters, Abuja. Air Vice Marshal Kingsley La Abubakar urged them to remain committed to building a peaceful, strong and viral nation by keeping with the constitutional mandate of protecting the lives of all law-abiding citizens. He told the personnel to put in their best in their career, then that NAF would not rest on its hours of providing for their welfare. It was a moment of reunion and rediscovery of socio-cultural links as Ndi Adazienu, Adaziani and Adazinuku of the Anambra Council area celebrate the first ever Adazi Day. The celebration was held at Divine Mercy School Field. Adazienu attracted the traditional rulers of the three communities, their traditional prime ministers, president generals, all the cabinet chiefs, sons and daughters of the communities to the event. Amaka Chibuzokoe was there and now reports.
Adazi Day, the first ever celebration between the three communities under the United Adazi Association, was to remind themselves that they were born by one man, Okotu, and should be doing things together and show brotherliness among themselves. The celebration resurrected their ancestral culture, where the old women and men displayed to the younger generation what they will uphold as part of their identity. The traditional ruler of Adazienu, Igwe Obalechelo, sued for sustenance of their union as one body, which will earn them much, warning against disunity and acts that will destroy the efforts of the association. His Adaziani and Adazinuku counterparts, Igwe Robert Nwankwo and Igwe Professor Augustine Obiekezie, prayed for more development, peace, progress, and united Adazi. While felicitating with Ndi Adazi, the senator representing Anambra Central Senatorial District, Chief Victor Ume, said people should always come together with communal spirit, saying that instituting the association will bring them together to share love and attract development. In an address of welcome, the chairman of United Adazi Association, Engineer Cyril Aneto, said they intend to achieve political relevance and alignment, appointment, conflict resolution, exchange of culture, among other things. The celebration witnessed award presentation to sons and daughters of Adazi who distinguished themselves in various aspects, of which the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mrs. Ujunwog, was one of them. In their remarks, the chairman on the occasion, Chief Joseph Chukwuka, and the chairman planning committee, Salivai Obaleke, said the program is an avenue to promote their culture and tradition and to instill it in the life of the younger generation to know that they are of the same ancestry. Masquerading, Ushe dance, and other cultural dances added glamour to the celebration. From Adazienu, and Anambra Council area, is being Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
And moving on to the foreign scene, 3 protesters have been killed during an anti-government demonstration in Sudan, even as thousands chanted support for President Omar al-Bashir at the rival rally in the capital, Khartoum. Khartoum's twin city, Omdurman, had witnessed riots and illegal gatherings that were dispersed by tear gas. Police spokesman Hashim Abdel Rahim confirmed that 3 protesters had died and several injured during the anti-government demonstrations. Wednesday's competing rallies in Sudan followed a month of angry street protest over a government decision to triple the price of bread at a time when the country faces an acute shortage of foreign currency and a high inflation rate of 70%. Authorities say at least 22 people, including 2 security personnel, have been killed since December 19 during the demonstrations. Human Rights Watch has put that toll at 40. On sports news, the Nigerian Cricket Federation has selected 16 female cricketers to fly the nation's flag against the Rwanda female national team in a bilateral series. According to a statement signed by NCF Public Relations Officer Musa Ehizoje, the series would hold from January 23rd to January 30 in Abuja. England cricket boss, Gales, Target World Cup and Ashes double. The selected players are Ephraim Grace, Abula Gata, Iwobie Abigail, Faith Fine Face, Samantha Agazuma, Favor Esiebe, Hannah Ayoka, Blessing Atim, and Blessing Wobodo. Others are Joy Afosa, Blessing Frank, Taiwo Abdul Quadri, Richel Samson, Mary Desmond, Timmy Seaman, and Ogechi George. It said the players who resumed camp on January 3rd in Kaduna were selected after a week of grueling and fierce competition. And that's it on News at 7. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging into our website, www.absradiotv.com. Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABS Radio Television. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. And just before we go this morning, the main points again. Governor Obiano has charged state citizenry on the act of giving to bring positive change in their vicinities. Dozie Group of Companies has handed over 5 million naira check to state government to make Anambra Compendium more accessible to the Anambra. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Abubakar has warned personnel against meddling in politics. On the foreign scene, we're brought to you that 3 protesters have been killed in anti-government demonstrations in Sudan. And that's the size of our package this morning. Many thanks for watching. I'm Ebere Ugonna. Good morning. Anambra continues shortly. Please stay with us.